to the Crypto Jungle. My name is Baloo the Bear, and here on the channel we keep crypto simple. We look at the price, we look at the volume, and we try to determine if we're in a bull market, a bear market, or a crab market, sideways market. So I'm going to take a look at Bitcoin. I want to take a look at traditional finance. We'll take a look at what's popping on CoinGecko, see what has been some of the gainers in the last 24 hours and over the last week. And we'll take a look at those charts and see how sustainable these moves are. We will also look at Ethereum. So Ethereum finally got its actual scheduled merge date, so we could see a lot of anticipatory bullishness as that date gets a little closer. So we'll take a look at that as well. And yeah, without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the king of all crypto. That is Bitcoin. All right, starting off with Bitcoin on the daily, we are inside this descending channel here. So we are still, as far as the macro is concerned, forming lower highs and lower lows. This is an area of a lot of potential resistance. Currently, we're still inside of the consolidation of this bear flag right here, but if we do get a breakout here, I would expect a rather quick move to the underside of this area near the downsloping line of resistance on the channel, as well as the area of resistance identified by the previous consolidation. So that'll be the support / resistance flip coming up for a bearish test underneath that support. So do be on the lookout for that. Let's go ahead and jump into the smaller time frames. Let's take a look at the 4 hour and see what we can see. Let me know if there's a problem with the chat. It's looking like it's not wanting to connect for some reason. Maybe I need to log out and back in again. I don't know. I did change the name of the channel on Twitch, so that's probably what's going on. May or may not be able to chat with you guys on Twitch. So if you do want a comment to get recognized, my bad. I just, like I said, switched the channel name from Baloo the Bear on Twitch to match my YouTube channel at Crypto Jungle. So if you do want to drop a comment, maybe go over to the YouTube channel. All right, so taking a look at this, we do have some bearish divergence. We have lower highs on the oscillator and higher highs on the consolidation on the area of the breakout here. We did get a rather shitty candle here on the daily. Let's go back over to the daily and just take a look at that candle. We got a gravestone doji at the top. Hello, Sarge. So we got a gravestone doji right at the top of the consolidation, right as we tried to break out of the bear flag. Not a great sign. But what I will say about this local consolidation is there's a lot of volatility locally here. So I think that there's a lot of bearishness in the market overall, and we're really struggling to get above this resistance point. For whatever reason, Bitcoin is just really struggling to take moves higher, probably because, you know, we're in a bear market. This is a bearish consolidation. The only thing that I think is pushing Bitcoin forwards is the positive price action that we're seeing inside of the traditional financial market. So the NASDAQ has been on a rather nice rally to the upside. The S&P bouncing off of the midpoint of the macro channel that we've been charting for a while. So, you know, traditional finance is performing a lot better than cryptocurrency, and retail is still very much so the driving force of all that's going on in cryptocurrency right now. So, you know, we're seeing a lot more bullishness in the altcoins comparative to Bitcoin. And that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. That's a bad thing. So what that means to me is that the only people who are speculating in this market is, you know, quote unquote dumb money. Dumb money is the only one kind of participating and actively thinking that this could turn around and go into a bull market right now. So we're getting an outperformance of the altcoins against Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the ruler of the space. You do not have a bull market without a Bitcoin bull market. So take that into consideration with a lot of your analysis here. But we will do some comparative analysis against Ethereum. So Ethereum, unlike Bitcoin, is now sitting on top of the area of resistance here. So this was the breakdown candle. The breakdown area right here is when Ethereum took a move down, and we're now sitting on top of that. So if we can hold on top of this support slash resistance flip, then we could see a rally for the altcoins. But be on the lookout, because if we do get back below this level, you're going to want to be looking for short opportunities for that point. So over the next few days, just pay attention to this level. If we can continue to trend up, there is a bullish narrative out there now that we have the Ethereum merge. So we could get a little bit of a bear market rally. But yeah, you know, just I don't think we're getting a bull market just yet. So do have some targets in mind here. You know, I'd be looking around this general area, right at around, what is that, 2,500. It's a nice support slash resistance flip here inside of the consolidation of this distribution. So we could encounter some resistance there. We could also go to the previous breakdown area up here at around, we'll call it, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt, call it about 3,000. So still quite a lot of resistance up above. So, you know, I'm not saying that we can't get a move up. I'm just saying that I don't think that it's going to be a sustainable move. I don't think that it's going to be a bull market. I don't think that we're going to have an altcoin season. Just, you know, a move up to this kind of general range. Taking a look at how that is on the weekly. Let's take a look at the weekly on ETH. And yeah, that we're already at a kind of resistance point right here. Get a horizontal line right there. So we're already in the resistance on the weekly. If the weekly closes below this level in about 2 days and 17 hours, just watch for a reversal back down. Let's take a look at it on the hourly, see how the short-term price action is looking. So this move is looking rather weak. We were unable to get to the top of the bearish resistance trend line here. We are seeing, no, not really a bearish divergence or anything on the RSI, but just a consolidation that just looks kind of shitty. I guess there is some bearish divergences. So if we break back below, let's say, break back below 1850, we'll call it 1850. Break below 1850 would probably get us back down to the area of 1700. So we're not out of the woods yet. We're not out of the woods yet. Very choppy market, very hard to hold on to positions, especially if you're using any amount of leverage or tight stop losses. I don't advise for either in these market conditions. It's just very tricky to try and trade that kind of chop. Spot positions off of lows have been a good play, but yeah. DXY, the dollar coming down for a test, so things are calming down in the dollar. This is going to encourage a little bit more risk on activity to come into the market. So again, this leans into the narrative that we could see a rally inside of traditional financial markets, especially if we can get a consolidation on top of this now support area of the dollar. So if we can start gaining some support here for, you know, we could potentially hold here for the rest of the year, finishing out the market bullish in traditional finance. But going back to Bitcoin, you know, not a good candle. Not a good candle. Likely rejection. Good morning, Mr. JFK. Good morning. Hello, Sarge. Good afternoon, Patty. Good morning, Leslie McDonald. welcome to the stream. All right, let's go and take a look at some of the performers over the last 24 hours. Huobi token seems silly. Like Ethereum Classic again. So, you know, could this be an ETH merge driven narrative here? Let's go take a look at ETH Classic. Ethereum Classic. Yeah, it's been rallying quite well. Certainly outperforming Ethereum. We can see that here. Let's go to the Ethereum pair. Yeah, definitely outperforming Ethereum. Let's go back to the dollar. Not in the mood for high risk speculation personally. But what do we got here? Into the resistance currently. We will see. We will see bearish divergence. Yeah, it's looking like if we can't get out of this descending channel, this is the area of the rejection. So watch for fake out breakouts. Could get a rejection at this level as far as Ethereum Classic is concerned, which is not surprising. It's 24%, or sorry, 19% off the 7-day average, or in the last 17 days, 7 days, it's up 20%. Bitcoin Gold, another shitcoin that's up a lot. Celsius Network up considerably. Let's take a look at Celsius. It's about 100% up over the week. Structure is shit. It's, I don't know, it's not a natural move here. You know, it went very parabolic very quickly. It's just completely parabolic right off of a low. No structure defined at all. Huge wick here, this massive anomaly here, and we've kind of filled that wick to the upside. Very overbought. This fundamentally makes no sense. This is showing some serious liquidity issues on this token, which has been to the benefit of anybody who held Celsius. Yeah, I don't see this continuing. We've formed no structure and we're extremely overbought, sorry. And then there's nothing really else that's of any value. Drop the tickers in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. We can take a look at some others. Let's take a look at Monero. This is one of my favorite projects. Fundamentally, you know, there are considerations to take into account when you are dealing with privacy coins. Privacy coins are the enemy of regulators. So, you know, if you're wanting mainstream adoption, probably shouldn't be looking at privacy coins. I like the Monero project because of what it does for people and the privacy that it affords people with a very easy user experience. You don't really need to know a ton to be able to be private on this blockchain. It pretty much, if you're using Monero, you've got privacy. It's really well designed. But again, you know, this would obviously be the target of regulators, and it's going to probably get harder and harder to get your hands on Monero as time progresses. It's going to be less and less user friendly as it kind of becomes more of a fringe project. So maybe not the best recommendation here for a long-term accumulation play. Nothing here is a recommendation. I just share projects that I find interesting, and I do find Monero to be a very interesting project, but certainly has some hurdles by design. Yeah, it's looking like my chat will not connect on the Twitch side. Let's see if I have any comments on Twitch. My apologies, everybody. I just gotta stop pressing buttons. Just gotta stop pressing buttons. All right. Nomad Diced, good morning. What do you think about this being a Wyckoff accumulation rising channel? For Bitcoin, I don't think so. It's not showing characteristics of accumulation. So, you know, Wyckoff can be tricky. Wyckoff is not for the hopium prone. If you are prone to hopium and not looking at the charts in a way that is objective, then maybe the Wyckoff method is not for you, because people see what they want to see a lot of times with the Wyckoff method. This consolidation is not showing any of the typical characteristics of accumulation. So the easiest way, I'm just going to draw it right now. You know, there's, you know, if we came into a low and the volatility just remains to be volatile and there's like inconsistency, lots of up thrusts and stuff like that, that's typically going to be distribution. Now accumulation has a volatility, a little bit of volatility in phase A, but then ultimately it calms down and then you get a real tightening of the spread. Now, this is just a really, really basic generalization of what you should be looking for, but this is kind of the basics of what it is. The biggest differences between accumulation and distribution. So distribution is going to hold the same characteristics of the candles that you've seen in the previous consolidations, that would hint towards continuation. And then accumulation will have some sort of stopping action, long period of accumulation, or just long period of consolidation in general, where the volatility reduces. And I'm not seeing a reduction in volatility. So I'm hesitant to say that we have any sort of structural change here that can change the trend. I don't see anything hinting towards a trend change. It's looking like more of the same. Doesn't mean we still got a lot of room up until the bearish test. Like there's still a 20% move until we're at the area of the bearish retest. So it's not like there isn't trades. It's not like there isn't, you know, some risk that you could assume if you want to. It's just that this consolidation is not showing that anything has changed. When we look at back here, when we look at this consolidation, all of them are just a continuation of this volatile behavior. Just inconsistent, volatile, inconsistent, up thrust, down. This one was kind of calming down, but then it started getting a lot of up thrusts, 2 up thrusts, now potentially 3 up thrusts. So if it does break down to the lower end and then it calms down, or maybe we break down to say this SR flip down here at around 20K and it calms down, then we could potentially begin to show some sort of characteristic of accumulation. But as it stands right now, if we just take off from here, it's just going to be more of the same. And for those who haven't been paying attention, the same is down. Why did that get all buggy? Take a look at Matic. Have you used Matic? You know, Matic had such a bullish narrative in the beginning that a lot of people just love Matic because it made them a lot of money. But have you guys used it? It's shit. Matic is such a shitty blockchain. If you haven't used it, you probably should. because it's shit. And you know, you shouldn't be investing in things that aren't performing. Like, you know, why would anybody want this blockchain? Up against some macro resistance right now, distributional kind of price behavior underneath of the resistance. Wouldn't be surprised to see this drop back down to about 60 cents. So pretty large downside move potential of around 33%. Lose about a third of its value potentially before finding support again. Haven't used Matic. Yeah, it's not worth it in my opinion. Not worth it. Not with everything else that's coming out. You know, you've got true layer 2 solutions. You've got Optimism. You've got Arbitrum. You've got Loopring. We have way better and faster and more secure and reliable options out there. Let's take a look at Link. So this is a little bit more appropriate. This is kind of what I'm talking about when I talk about, you know, tightening of the spread. I don't know if Link is ready. I don't think that Link has necessarily done its whole accumulation just yet, but this is kind of what I'm talking about when I'm looking for accumulation. You know, you come down into a new range, there's a little bit of volatility, but then the volatility really starts to subside. That's a good thing. That's what you want to see. So I think, you know, this can probably flatline. It has the potential to flatline here. And, you know, we could finish off the year with Link trading sideways. That would be a very good thing, especially if there was volatility in the market elsewhere. That could be really beneficial if we could really start to show that the composite operator is present and accumulating at this level around, you know, basically $5, anywhere from $5 to $10. So that's the accumulation range for the composite operator potentially. If crypto and the larger market does take another leg down, then of course we need to start this process all over again. But still, you know, good to see that there is at least a tightening of the spread. But nothing actionable just yet. See what's going on in Axieland. Hey, there's actually a move up in SLP. It's time for us to start playing again, I think. So this is kind of a good representation of an accumulation, very similar to what we were just looking at it with Link though. Reach a floor, volatility subsides, consolidation, up thrust, we'll give it that. And now the volatility is beginning to expand to the upside. So if we can break above the area of the automatic rally, which is at approximately about 60% of a penny, 1/60th of a penny, then that could be a good sign. You know, get to about 3/4 of a penny, and we will probably get back above a penny. If we get back above a penny, there could be a bullish narrative built around the fact that SLP's back above a penny. We've been spending a lot of time at about a half a penny for a while. So this could be a good positive first sign for SLP. There are more games coming online. There's going to be more burning metrics introduced to the game. The market is certainly working against this trade as far as I'm concerned. I think the market is, you know, on the macro, not ideal, but we could get a bullish move here in SLP potentially. Let's take a look at AXS, which is the governance token of Axie Infinity. Less utility in my opinion, but a more stable currency. And this one's doing nothing really. Not doing a whole lot, nothing really to report on that. The consolidation isn't quite as flat or The volatility has reduced, but not by a lot. Yeah, it looks like SLP is outperforming for the short term on this one. What else can we take a look at here? Let's take a look at our shitcoin bingo list. Cardano on the weekly with alpha numerics, barely staying on top of the 7. If it can close on top of the 7 for a few weeks, though, that could indicate that there is again a potential rally, at least to the underside of this last support/resistance flip here at around 77 cents. Probably some psychological at around 75 cents. Also correlates with the 30 EMA here on the weekly. So we could get a rally either up to the 30 or to the 50. So still remaining below $1 for the foreseeable future here for Cardano, but could be nice to get a nice 25 or a nice 50% move up to the 75-cent mark. And Ron, good point. Let's take a look at Ronin. Sorry, there's a little bit of a delay on the Twitch side because I don't have the Twitch panel in my live stream panel. Just because of a mistake that I made before hopping on here. Looks pretty closely tied to what's going on with AXS. So out of those 3 tokens, SLP is the only one that's showing any ability to move. If the in-game currency, the play-to-earn currency, is in higher demand, that can bring more attention to the ecosystem overall. Ronin is going to be required to use the Ronin wallet. So there's definitely an intrinsic value proposition for the Ronin token. It's just not showing up in the charts. It's basically the same as AXS. The only one that is performing well right now is SLP. Cardano, we took a look at that. It's probably going to do nothing. Ape, not a lot of data on Ape. CRO finally getting above the 7 EMA. So if that'll close bullish in the next day and a half, 2.5 days, that could be good. Taking a look at Doge. Doge is always kind of one that seems to be a whale favorite during the periods of accumulation. I wouldn't be surprised to see Doge rally again next bull market. But the thing about Doge is it trades very sideways. The Doge will get a very tight spread for many months, maybe even a year of just flat before it begins to trend in the right direction. Shiba Inu, on the other hand, a little bit newer, a little bit more speculative, and more of a degen community behind it, less of whale accumulation activity, so a lot of retail can move this one. Not doing a whole lot here. Taking a look at Solana doing okay. So a lot of them look ready to do a move up to their last resistance point, which, some of them were a 20% move, some were 50% moves. This one's looking like a 75% move. So there are some moves out there. Just, do you have the wherewithal to handle that move? Are you a long-term investor? Are you a short-term trader? Are you a scalper? Identify the trading style that you have and then lean into it. But yeah, Solana could rally up to about 75 bucks before getting rejection underneath the last area of the resistance. Theta, who cares? VeChain, nobody cares. XRP, you shouldn't care. Zilla what? GMX, this one is a token that I'm quite interested in. It's new, it's shiny, it's rallying. Don't touch it. Put it on the watch list, start to watch it, but don't buy it right now. Not financial advice, just I'm certainly not looking to buy it right now. Looks Rare is another one that I'm quite bullish on fundamentally. Had a really terrible launch with a lot of negative press, so that's fantastic. you know, let the people not really understand how the protocol works, let them think what they want to think. This is a very significantly different token model that provides real yield based off of the volume and performance and adoption of the Looks Rare NFT marketplace. Go do your own research on this one, but this is a solid project that I also don't recommend that you buy right now. Unless you're looking at, you know, a 5-year accumulation. Just Tree Hugger, we took a look at Looks Rare. Great minds think alike. All right. Anything else worth looking at in this list? AMP, Tenset, Zilliqa, Theta, VeChain. Man, there are so many shitcoins out there. Absolute garbage. Garbaggio. Nothing. I mean, I think I kind of feel that way about most crypto, if I'm being honest. But yeah, nothing but the shittiest of the shit floating up on those ones. All right, I think we will close it out there. So thank you again for joining in on the live stream. Sorry that the chat was broken on the Twitch side. I'm gonna go take a look at what I can do to fix that. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this content, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe or follow along on Twitch. And yeah, we will see you guys in the next one. Please trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.